Hello, everybody! Do you like to play frisbee with your friends, family, or pets? Do you want to explore a way of playing frisbee where you can see who throws the farthest and most accurately? Do you want to try out disc golf but don't know how to start? Are you afraid of getting lost in the woods and becoming the main character in the Blair Witch Project 4? I can help with all of those. My name is Kevin, and I play disc golf. Welcome to my channel, Kevin Plays Disc Golf. The primary focus is the disc golf courses themselves. You'll see some of my throws mixed in, but it's more about the courses than my disc golf skills. Throughout this, there's going to be some vocabulary we're going to have to use, so here's some of what I'm going to be using throughout this video and some in future videos. First off, a disc. This is a generic term for a frisbee, a round plastic thing that has a magnetic attraction to trees when thrown. The tee is the starting point for a hole. This is your first opportunity to hit a tree with a disc. Next up is the fairway. This is ideally where you want to land. It's usually somewhere in an open with a clear shot to the basket. This is where you hope you end up with after you hit a tree off the fairway. The basket is the target for a disc. It makes a very satisfying sound when the disc hits it and bounces away rather than staying inside. Par is how many throws it's supposed to take to get from the tee to the basket. A bogey is one more than par. This is the most frequent result for me. You could also get a double, a triple, quadruple, quintuple, or so on bogey. This is the number of shots over par that it takes to get from the tee to the basket. This is normally the same as the number of trees that your disc has hit on the hole. When planets align, the magic spell works, and the Ouija board deems it so, and you end up getting the disc from the tee to the basket in one shot under par, that's a birdie. An ace, that's an obscure term that I've heard of but never actually used. I'll be going into more detail in a future video about exactly what disc golf is, how to get started, and more of the terminology that I will be using in my main course videos. But for now, here's what I bring to the table that makes this channel unique. I'll be going into more detail in future videos about exactly what disc golf is, how to get started, and more of the terminology that I will be using in my main course videos. But for now, here's what I bring to the table that makes this channel unique. I feel like I have a pretty average skill set. I throw about 270 feet max distance on flat ground and feel like I'm kind of in the middle of the range of ability of most casual disc golfers. I feel like my approach to a course will be a lot more relatable than a touring pro that can birdie a 500-foot par 3. I don't enjoy playing in the cold, rain, or high winds, so in most cases I'll just play the course another day. Getting hit by lightning is not my idea of fun. My limit of how much cold and wet I'm willing to play is in the round I filmed at the Pines at Wheelock Park, a beginner 9-hole course in Keene, New Hampshire, on a day where I had to go to Keene anyways. It was about 45 degrees and drizzling. I feel like I have a good idea of what I'm supposed to do and how to explain what I'm trying to do, even if my execution is not always optimal. In general, I'll be playing the longest tee and basket options that I'm comfortable playing. I'm kind of a glutton for punishment. With most of these courses, that means the tees and baskets that result in the longest version of the hole, if there are options. I will mention what setup I'm playing at the start of the video, and if I deviate from that during the round, I'll make that known during the video. The prime example of this is Franklin Falls Dam hole B6, where if you can't throw 300 feet, you lose your disc. I'm always going to play the alternate tee for that one. I really do not like losing discs. As you'll see from my upcoming obligatory What's in My Bag video, a couple of my discs may be older than some of you viewing this. I play to have fun. It's an excuse to get some exercise while I'm walking in the woods. If I play a challenging course and have an 18-hole round of 10 over par with 2 birdies, I feel like I've had a good day. That said, there are some common disc golf topics that I'm unlikely to be doing because, frankly, other people can do them better. First off, disc reviews. I'm not consistent enough to provide a valid review in most cases. Second, Disc Golf Pro Tour review and news about what's going on in tournaments. Again, those are covered better elsewhere. Also, mystery challenges such as playing a course with a single disc, weird discs, or a mystery box. This is just my personal preference that I'd rather play 100 different holes with one disc that I know than one hole that I know with 100 different discs. Besides, as you'll see in my video about what discs I carry, my discs are weird enough. The primary question I'm trying to answer with these videos is, where the heck am I supposed to go? This has always been my single biggest frustration when playing disc golf. I'm playing many of these courses for the first time when filming, so I'm trying to answer these same questions at the same time. If you're curious about any courses in southern New Hampshire, comment below about which course you'd like to see me release first. At this point, I've done filming for 14 courses, and my goal is to release one video every week. Hopefully that will carry me through a time where it gets warm enough that I can start filming more courses. A few reasons for this are that sometimes T signs are either non-existent or not particularly helpful, though in general these have gotten much better in the last 10 years. This is particularly confusing if there are holes close to each other, there are multiple basket locations, and the actual basket where you are going to is obscured. A good example of how some of this confusion can arise is at hole 5 at Birch Park. I saw the T sign. I walked to the crest of the hill to see where I was going. Looked like there was a slight turn to the right. I saw the basket off into the distance and figured that's where I was going. After I threw the tee shot at that basket, I saw others at that basket that had not been previously in front of me and realized I had gone the wrong way. As it turns out, the actual basket is tucked in on the rocks on the left, which there is no indication from on the tee sign. In general, it would be very helpful if at the kiosks at the start of the course there was some indication of which basket placements were being used if there are multiple options. Of the courses I have played thus far that have multiple basket options, only one hole has had baskets in both locations, and that's because there's a split in the 18 and 26 hole course configurations at that particular hole. The next question is, why not just use UDisc with GPS on? First off, UDisc is definitely the go-to website and app for finding disc golf courses. Not sponsored. If you allow the UDisc app to access your phone's GPS location tracking system, a little blue dot will appear on the UDisc app where it thinks you are. It will also provide what it thinks are the tee and basket locations to the course that you are playing, and in theory can measure shot distance and track many different statistics for your round. Unfortunately, UDisc is great for finding courses, but much of the information on the courses themselves, at least locally to where I am in New Hampshire, is either inaccurate or unreliable. I believe the GPS has issues either at my particular latitude or with the elevation changes that are prevalent on all of the courses in my area that I have played. The vast majority of the holes are in the woods, and the fairway plotted on UDisc is often not particularly helpful. A prime example for all of the UDisc issues is hole 12 at Pinnacle Disc Golf Course. UDisc lists hole 12 at Pinnacle as a straight 308-foot par 4 through the trees. Standing on the tee box tells a much different story. A 395-foot par 4 over a creek uphill, then a significant right turn to get to the basket. It is also sometimes confusing as to how to get to the next hole from UDisc alone, as the correct path between holes may not be obvious. Even when it is obvious enough that you don't need UDisc, UDisc may recommend that you go in the wrong direction, as we can see going from basket of hole 12 at Pinnacle to the tee of hole 13.
If we just take a quick pan down here, I am standing right at the circle 1 markers, And if we pan a little bit to the right, there is the sign for hole 13. And then the hole 13 tee is right there. So not much distance to the hole 13 tee. And we'll go up and drop this in for our par 4.
These videos may be a little unwieldy on a TV or monitor, but they're designed to be relatively easily searchable on a phone while on the course, knowing exactly where you are in the video relative to the course with bookmarks for what I think are the most common problem areas on the course. Because of how the course ratings are calculated on UDisc, some may be better or worse than what their rating indicates. There are a couple of courses that you'd be missing out on if you, for example, limit yourself to courses that have a UDisc rating of 4.0 or better. My goal is to hit all of the free courses within a reasonable range of where I live first. A good example of a paid course that I have not gone to yet is what's considered New Hampshire's best disc golf course, Top of the Hill in Canterbury, New Hampshire. I will probably film this eventually, however they have a good drone flyover video of their course on their website, and as a paid course, I would expect that the route finding and signage would be better to begin with than a free course. A few other prominent examples are that I live within 2 hours away of what many consider to be the best disc golf course in the United States, Maple Hill, and within 3 hours of 2 other courses in the top 5 in the USA in Brewster's Ridge and Fox Run Meadows at the Smuggler's Notch Resort in Vermont. Don't get me wrong, I will play these eventually, but it is very likely that especially with Maple Hill, I will play one of the less commonly filmed course options. Ideally, hopefully these videos will help you find a course or two on the way between those 2 destinations on the northeastern swing of your disc golf vacation. One of the other things is that this provides a historical record of the courses at a particular point in time. Courses evolve and change over time, and some no longer exist. The first disc golf course I ever played at, Hickory Pond in Durham, New Hampshire, has not existed for many years. This started out as a 9-hole disc golf course on a par 3 golf course that was eventually expanded to 18 holes through the woods behind the ball golf course. What was the clubhouse is now an assisted living facility, and though some of the golf course remains, the disc golf course is long defunct. A close friend of mine through high school and college heard about it and decided to try it out, and twisted my rubber arm to get me to go along the next time he went. We spent a lot of time tossing a frisbee around at that time, so this next step made sense. I am just beginning my journey here. Your likes and subscriptions are extremely appreciated. As I do this more, my editing skills will improve, and on the short list of purchases are a camera and microphone that will improve video quality and audio quality compared to what I currently have. Getting to the monetizable level of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube will be a huge step towards this. I also plan to post shorts of individual holes or POV tee commentary, so if there are any in particular that you would like to see, please comment below. And to all of those of you who have liked, commented, and subscribed, I say plethora because it means a lot.